Dr. Sebastian Gorka is a renowned national security expert, a strategist, and former deputy assistant to President Donald Trump. He was on hand at Mar-a-Lago last month to hear his former boss announce that he's running again for his old job. He says the response there was electric, as we expected it probably would be there. But will it be enough to make Donald Trump the 47th president of the United States? Please welcome back to the show one of our dear friends, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Great to have you back.
Great to be back, Governor. Before we start, people don't know that even when it's not Christmas, all the guests get a little goodie bag after they leave.
Yeah.
And your Huckabee mug has got pride of place in my green room at my radio studio. So I thought the least I could do for Christmas is to give you the hottest selling item from my website, sebgorka.com. It's a little serious, but everybody wants it. So this is your America First mug.
Wonderful.
With a very serious message.
I like it.
The FBI is Biden's Gestapo. It's a serious message.
Oh, look at that.
That is the hottest selling thing on our website.
I believe that is.
That's for you. Merry Christmas.
I will be drinking coffee from this cup before 24 hours are over. I would say
hot
tonight.
chocolate for Christmas. Don't forget the hot chocolate.
Yeah, maybe so. My wife will have spiced tea out of that.
Very
something
nice.
that she likes and I don't, but that's a whole nother story. I don't think you're surprised that President Trump is running. I don't think any of us are.
No.
What do you feel is going to be the biggest challenge? Because there are a lot of people that say, hey, look, you know what? He's just said so many things that bothered people and they want to move on. What does he have to overcome?
He has to overcome two things. Number one, people have to stop this issue with the style or the mean tweets. Whenever somebody says that to me, I say, have a look at your 401k.
Yeah.
Get back to me. Look at the price of gas. How about your grandkids? Can they get formula for your grandkids, for the babies? If the answer is no, or the price of gas is too high, or my 401k is tanked, who is the person who created an economy the likes of which we've never seen before? And then secondly, for those who think America's past my old boss, which incumbent president got more votes than any other president since 1776? It's President Trump. So the guy who got the most votes as an incumbent is the old pony. I don't buy it.
I've heard people say that Republicans run great campaigns, Democrats run great elections.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a good distinction.
Yeah.
You know, we don't understand. We've run all these issues. We've sold our points. How do we lose? Well, we lose because they're working on the elections and we're working on the campaign.
They're the ones going to the old people's homes.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are saying, okay, we will organize for weeks on end. And I get it. Conservative radio hosts, friends of mine say, don't forget to go and vote on polling day. Take 10 people with you. It doesn't matter if they've collected 50, 500 ballots in the preceding 5 weeks. It's a sad, sad reality. We just simply have to be more organized.
What is the biggest challenge you think Republicans are going to be facing with a new Congress? We're going to have a new speaker. At least they'll be in charge. But there's even some tension as we get ready for these guys to take over.
I think you know what the biggest challenge is, given your history and the history of my colleague in the White House, your daughter.
Yeah.
It's a lack of spine.
Well,
you're a fighter, Governor.
Yeah.
Sarah is a fighter.
Yeah.
You love America. We need a GOP. We need a speaker. We need to have Republicans who act as if they love America. No more footsie under the table with the Democrats. No more Marquis of Queensberry rules, because the other side doesn't play by Marquis of Queensberry rules. They tried to impeach our president twice. They've got political prisoners, January 6 prisoners, in solitary for years on end, 2 years, without due process. It's time for us to take the gloves off and play hardball. So the biggest challenge is for the GOP to grow a spine next year.
You know, it's a little more than a week. I think our audience agrees with that. In just a little more than a week, we're going to see the new Congress take over, January the 3rd. And so one of the questions, will they open legitimate investigations, not to be mean, not to get revenge, but to find out who at the Department of Justice and the FBI knowingly lied to a FISA court to get a warrant, to spy on and to try to really stage Nothing less than a coup d'etat against a sitting president. Will they do that?
When I was in the White House, I requested by name 3 of my former students to be detailed to me to work in the White House, which is very standard. The deputy wants somebody to be detailed, and they said, no problem, about 7 days. We just have to pass their clearances over from the DOJ. Okay. 6 months later, they hadn't appeared. Every week, HR is blowing me off. Finally, a very senior FBI agent comes to the White House on other business, and he peels off to come and see me. And he says this to me. Now, think of this in America. He said, Seb, off the record, those agents you requested to be detailed to you as a deputy to the president, you're never getting them because the 7th floor of the Hoover building, that's the director, the management, quote, looks at this president as the enemy.
He actually said that to you.
The enemy.
The elected president of the United States.
Elected by 64 million people, is deemed by members of the executive who carry badges and guns to be the enemy. That's how serious the challenge is for the GOP and how much they have to clean up the Stygian stables that is DC.
I hope they truly understand that that's the kind of thing that destroys a true democracy. When I hear people talk about the enemies of democracy, it is not some parent going to a school board meeting and demanding to know what their kids are being taught. It's people who, as you say, brilliantly said, have badges and guns and can ruin our lives, who are not fulfilling the integrity of the Constitution.
It's not the pro-life activist with 7 children who had a misdemeanor charge dropped against him and has his house raided by 24 FBI agents pointing loaded guns at his wife while his children are screaming, "Don't take our daddy away." In that scenario, the Houck family, I'll tell you who the enemies of the state are. And it pains me to say this, Governor. The enemies of the state are the FBI managers who ordered that raid against that pro-life man and the agents who didn't say, "Excuse me, ASAC Smith, here's my badge, here's my gun, I'm not your Gestapo." Those people have sworn their oath to America. And that's why this is not a joke. That's real.
Thank you very much for making it straight. Now, I'm confident you're going to check out more from Dr. Gorka. And to do that, if you'll head over to Huckabee.tv, where we've got social media links, plus how and when to listen to the America First show on Salem Radio. Also, this book, Dr. Gorka has written, The War for America's Soul. Folks, there really is a war for America's soul, and Dr. Gorka makes that pretty clear in this book. Links to how to get it at Huckabee.tv. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will now. The button is just below this video, and there's a little bell next to it. If you click on those, YouTube will reluctantly start letting you know when we've got a new video uploaded.